Hello everybody and welcome to Story Time with me, Miss Anna. Today our story is a truly inspirational African story and I'm reading it here at Mjejane Game Reserve in South Africa. Our story is called More Than a Roar and it's written and illustrated by Karen Le Grange. Growl. Chirp, chirp. What is that noise? Chirp, chirp. Growl. What is that noise? A dazzle of zebra flashed away in their herd. A swarm of bees buzzed. It must be a bird. A prickle of porcupine shivered with fear. What is that weird, scary sound that we hear? We must check it out. But we're terribly scared. They all looked around. Who's bravest? They dared. We need lots of noise so we can chase it away. Let us try to work together, all the animals say. Ostrich plucked up the courage and flapped her big wings. The bees buzzed around, all flashing their stings. Elephant, stamping her foot, made a trumpeting sound. There's our elephants. Shaking and quaking the stones on the ground. Then, with a flip and a flop, and what was that whoosh? A small fluffy bundle tumbled out of the bush. Can you see what it is? Let's see if you're right. It was a cute little cat, all spotted and hairy, with small shining eyes. It could never be scary. Chirp, chirp. But why was it chirping? It wasn't a bird. This poor little cub sounded rather absurd. The cheetah cub chirped. Tears streamed down his face. Look at that. He didn't quite know how he got to this place. Ilembe, the leopard's heart beat like a drum. All that he needed, she knew, was a mum. She stood up and said, I will help, little one. I will raise you like you're my God-given son. You will never be lonely. No, never again. For now, there are 2 little tiny cubs in my den. So Ilembe, the leopard, she saw that tiny little cub by himself. And she already had a cub of her own. And now she's going to help protect that little one. She called him Tando. Tando is a Zulu name. It's the name of the meaning of this name is love. No matter his story, he was sent from above. And she told him, you are more than a chirp. You are something much more. You are more than you think, and you are more than a roar. she's encouraging him. As the days passed, both brothers grew strong, but Tando the cheetah felt something was wrong. How embarrassed he felt. He was so tall and so thin, with 2 river-like tears running down his chin. His spots were quite plain, and when he looked at his paws, he couldn't retract all his sharp, spiky claws. He's realizing he's different than his leopard brother. He didn't climb trees like his brother and mum. He preferred the flat plains, and he just loved to run. He was not like his brother, who was able to roar. Poor Tando just chirped. He could do nothing more. His mother Ilembe saw his struggle and purred, "My darling son Tando, your wish I have heard." Then she told him the story of how he was found, how the animals heard his sad, chirpy sound. And then she said, "You are more than a chirp. You are something much more. You are more than you think. You are more than a roar." You are golden and spotted, with a tail like a rudder. You are special because you are not like your brother. You run like the wind, you're as light as a feather. You're the fastest around if we all race together. The tears on your face reflect light from the sun. They help you keep track of your prey as you run. Then the claws on your feet grip the sand as you go, in your own special way. "Why, didn't you know?" "My darling," she said, "you are more than a chirp. You are something much more. You are more than you think. You are more than a roar." "Yes, of course, Mum," said Tando. "You've opened my eyes. You're my hero, my first love. I now realize. I was so sad and so worried about what I can't do. I forgot all the great things that I can be too." The cheetah sat proudly and held his head high. He chirped and he chirped up towards the blue sky. His brother roared back, and Ilembe smiled sweetly. No matter the difference, she both loved them completely. "Chirp, chirp," he says. "You are more than a chirp. You are something much more. You are more than you think. You are more than a roar." The end. And you know what is so interesting about this story? Having a look at the differences between cheetah and leopard. And in the story, Karen Le Grange shows you leopards and cheetahs. What are the differences? And we could hear some of those differences in the story. See if you can remember what are some of the differences between leopard and cheetah. And always remember, we were not born to fit in. You were born to stand out. Have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.